Ooh, sunflower. Here's one for me. Thank you. Hey everyone, it's Aubrey, recovering perfectionist, queen of distractions / gardener, and we are back for another garden tour and update for fall. It's here, it's happening, and it certainly feels like it today. I am cold. I had to go back inside and grab a coat because it's just a tad chilly outside. I don't really feel like there is a whole ton to report this week. I mean, there's a few things, but my mind has really just kind of been wrapped around in what are we going to do next year. And one thing that we are going to do is put an arch here. I'm going to show you. So like the bean arch that we have here, we're going to do another one between these two beds. We still have some of that paneling from our old garden where we had two next to each other. It was really cool. I loved that garden. Anyway, I'm really disappointed this year with the amount of vertical growing space that we had for beans. We just didn't get enough beans, and I'm bummed about that. So next year we're going to have more bean space, which I'm really looking forward to. And then I am hoping that we'll do just another one of those somewhere else in the yard. I was talking about putting a big pumpkin and corn bed in the front yard, and then I'd like to do an arch between those for any climbing gourds like the birdhouse gourds, and I'm gonna give loofah gourds another shot this year. I didn't really get as much done last week as I wanted to. I did pull all of the nasturtiums out of that corner. Everything had just died back completely. And then the potato bag, the boys and I dumped out a few days ago, and it was pretty disappointing. I'm pretty sure that the amount of money I spent on dirt to do these potato bags, I probably could have bought like 100 pounds of potatoes. So I think maybe next year I'll just do one just for an experiment, probably add a couple more potatoes, and then make sure that I'm better about adding dirt more frequently throughout the season and see if that makes a difference. We still do have our big kind of like cylinder contraption with potatoes that I don't think is quite ready to dump out yet. There's still some greenery on those plants that's not dead. Speaking of greenery that is dead though, look at these spaghetti squash. They're very small, but they're apparently ready to be picked. Hopefully these ones grow a bit more, and then Josh and I can have one and the boys can each have one. This bed here was really just an overall complete disappointment, which sucks. I had planted squash and gourds, and I kind of imagine, a situation like this, like something that needs a lot of space, and these things just did not end up taking up really any space. This plant here is a small white pumpkin that you find in like the grocery stores and stuff during the fall. And they're finally just now, let's see, where are they? Like we're just now starting to see little pumpkins. So I don't know when those are actually going to look like a pumpkin. Probably not early enough to be on my porch next month. What am I talking about? I'm talking like I take all of my pumpkins down at the end of October, but I've had small pumpkins that are still alive decorating my house by the time Valentine's Day rolls around. So I'm not concerned about them being late bloomers. I'm fine with that. Let's see. Okay, so that was that and that and that. Jackson is really excited to harvest those gourds, the birdhouse gourds, but I told him he has to wait until it's died back like the spaghetti squash. We're having the same conversation about the pumpkins. Ooh, there's some cherry tomatoes that are ready. Look at this bush. There's just so many on there. I really hope those will be able to ripen on the vine. Ooh, let's see, something else exciting. These peas are doing really great. And then I've been able to harvest quite a bit of kale. At least once every 3 or 4 weeks, I've been doing a sausage. It's a sausage and spinach orzo recipe, but I've been swapping out spinach and using kale from the garden instead, and it's really good. I'm going to put that recipe in the description because we've made it several times, and the kids absolutely just love it. When I made it the other day, Jackson was like, "Oh, good, I love this stuff," which, if you're a mom, you understand how big of a deal that is. Okay, let's leave the garden for a second to go look at this sunflower. Ooh, there's one there too. That one finally bloomed. And then this guy opened up. Oh, hi, bee. Look at that, that's cute. Oh, Jackson got into a hornet's nest. a couple days ago, and as he was running towards the house screaming, they started swarming Alec, and I didn't realize until I grabbed him and brought him in the house that he had one in his shirt, and he got stung when we were inside twice, and they're both okay, but Alec, he kept bee. It was kind of adorable, but also sad. We also found out that he's not allergic to bees, which is exciting. So off of the topic of bees though, and back on the sunflowers, I find it really interesting that these ones that I planted so much later in the season, it's like they knew, like, hey, we don't have time to get as tall as those guys over there. Like, they just knew that they needed to like bloom sooner rather than later. I thought that was kind of interesting, and cool, because I want sunflowers. So noted, it's not the end of the world if you plant them late. I'm gonna Google that and see if that's a factor, if I'm just making it up. And then here's our pumpkin patch. Oh, look. And then there's this mystery gourd over here. What are you? You look like a watermelon. I know it's not, but because I'm not a person who has success growing watermelons, the biggest watermelon I've ever grown was about the size of a grape. We don't have the climate for growing watermelons anyway. What am I talking about? Okay, let's see. Here's that dang fence that's driving us nuts that we want to do the arch with. But this is where we're at with the potatoes. So I'm hoping that that finishes up soon so we can dump that out. That is going to be a lot of fun. Last year, was it last year or the year before? I can't remember. Anyway, the last time we did this, it was pretty good. We got a decent amount of potatoes. Let's see. I don't know. I think that's all. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to talk about. Oh, I have been forgetting to water a lot. Like, I've kind of forgotten, like, now that it's fall, that the garden really even exists, unfortunately. And I've forgotten to water it a few times. So I'm trying to keep that on my radar. I did accidentally water the pumpkins and corn in that area of the yard for like 6 hours the other day. So yeah, remembering to turn on and off the water really isn't my strong suit. But that is all for today. I will see you all in the next one. As always, I love you. Have fun and be kind.